Hello, hello, my beautiful goddesses. How are you? I'm Polkis, and I'm very excited to be here going live. I'm currently in a hotel room, and it's very cute. And I decided to do a live talking about motherhood, talking about mom friends. Yes, so if you're a mom and you're struggling, you feel that you don't have friends anymore, or you feel that all the friends that you had disappear, then you're not alone. Trust me, you're not alone. You're not the only one going through that. You're not a weird one because now friends don't want to talk to you, or if you feel certain challenges through motherhood, or you feel that it's difficult and you're the only one struggling, it seems that everybody else is having a good time, then let me tell you that you're not the only one. You're not the only mom that has doubts, that has guilt, that feels that this is challenging. Let me tell you, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not the only one. And that's why today I wanted to talk about the importance of having friends, mom friends, not just friends. Let me be clear. If you're a new mom, then I want to talk today about the importance of having mom friends. Okay, there is a huge difference. So if you're a mom and you don't have this circle or this network or community, or at least one friend that is also a mom, then let me tell you and let me encourage you to go and find a group, one friend, someone that is in the same journey as you, in the same lifetime, in the same no lifetime, the same like life's phase, because you change completely. Trust me, your priorities are completely different from like when you were single, when you were even married or engaged, but no kids. When I mean single, I mean like no kids, because I'm like, oh, I told my husband when I was single. He's like, what? No, when, I meant like no kids. And you were completely different. And if you're a new mom, then your world turned upside down. And the truth is that with the women that I have talked, a few women that I have talked that are moms, it's a confirmation. They lost a lot of friends, even the friends that they swear that they were like their besties. And then because they got married and had kids before the bestie, then now that bestie can relate to them. And is not for everyone, okay? Like I know, like if you have friends that stay with you, you're lucky, you're blessed, but it doesn't happen like that to everyone. So I'm here in California. I came for an event, a woman, basically like a woman empowerment event. And this is the first time that I travel with no baby and no husband since I got married. I used to travel a lot before alone, or like with someone or my sister or something, and many times alone. I did a lot of solo trips in Europe and the Caribbean, and this is the first time traveling alone after a long time. and and it made me remember a lot of how I used to be before getting married and having kids. You just grab and go. You have your cute outfit, cute carry on. You can open a book. And traveling with a toddler or a baby, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different drill. It's not glamorous at all. Even though they behave good, like when we travel with our daughter, like she behaves good, she's chill. I'm the one that is like sometimes like stressed, like, oh my God, what if she cries in the airplane and we bother people? And it's all these thoughts that I never thought I will have. Right? When you're single, you're just minding your own business. Like it's all about you. And that's why it's very important to have a circle of women that just know that they just get it. They get it. You don't have to explain why you're this way. You don't have to explain why the kid is being loud. You don't have to explain why you have snacks in your bags or interrupt in a conversation, because the mom is also that way with her kid, like when we hang out with moms, it's like we both know we will be interrupted 1,000 times through our conversation, and we're lucky if we get to have a human, like adult interaction or a conversation, because we know half of our brain is with the kid, right? Like especially if they're little, you're chasing, they're dropping things, you're feeding, picking up, they put things in their mouth, so we're constantly chasing. And if you only hang out with friends that haven't get their family, start their family, then it's great. Any type of communication, any type of friendship, it's amazing. I'm all for that, like finding your tribe, finding your community. And you might feel that you're explaining yourself a lot. Like I found, like I will only be talking about my daughter, but I'm like, no, I also need to talk about my stuff, or other things that I can connect with these friendships. And I noticed that the more like time passed by, and then it started to diverting like a few friendships, and it's okay, it's just what happens in life. Nobody's entitled to be your friend forever. It's just nature of life. And when I had my baby, I tried to join these mom groups. Of course, after like I recover from like the quarantine for like postpartum, and I was like comfortable going out alone with her, with the stroller, with everything. I made sure that I tried to find like community groups of moms or mom groups in the neighborhood or the city that I was. And surprisingly, there was like groups, support groups. Like I remember I joined Fit for Mom. I know that's like a national franchise, and I'm gonna type it, and then you can find, like if you're looking for communities for moms, you can always find any type of group but moms. I know there is a difference when you find, like, for example, mommy and me activities or music. Yes, you can go find friends there, like moms, but then you're doing that activity for the baby, basically. And unless you're like very outgoing and then you go and talk to a mom, then you're going to make that connection. But usually, I feel like once you're a mom, you start becoming like a little more like, I don't know if I should talk to people. But I started joining that group. In Fit for Mom, it's basically like like a workout group. So you will go in, do workouts, bring the strollers, do a workout, and basically, like we hang out with the kids. We got our workout in, and I know they have these in different cities. Like when I was living in Los Angeles, like I joined the community there. You do pay like like a monthly subscription to be able to join the workouts, and I know they did like play dates and also like mom nights out, like with no kids. And honestly, just joining these little groups or whatever type of group you have in your community is amazing. It's helpful. You go and you talk to other moms, and it's very important connecting with these other moms, because you will notice that you're not the only one going through this experience. You're not the only one with mom guilt. You're not the only one worrying extra or thinking that you're doing too much, or like sleep deprived, or all these experiences that are shared, but we just don't have no one to talk to. And right, we don't want to like rip our husband's ear off talking about all of that, because he's also the a parent. But it's important to connect with other women that are in the same season of life as us, because as I mentioned, friends that don't have kids yet, they're just not gonna understand, and that's fine. That's where they are, right? Like when I was single and didn't have kids, it wasn't my duty to understand my friend that had kids. I just was not in that phase, and that's nature, that's life. But now that I had, it's like, okay, now I need to connect and bond with other women that are going through the same challenge as me. And then that way you bond through like the shared experiences. Oh, my kid is doing this, well, mine did that, and then you share knowledge. That's how we pass down the knowledge between friends, right? Like a tribe. And when I became pregnant, I started reading like pregnancy books, and they always mention, I don't know if you ladies heard, but it's like, find your tribe, find your support system, your support. And I'm like, I don't need that. I don't know, that's gonna come out with the kid. No, it didn't. I had to go look for support, for a community, for friends that have kids, so we can go for a walk, a workout, a play date. They can come over to play at our house. And it's like we just get it. It's messy. They're going to interrupt. We can like be on the floor playing with toys. I'll make you a coffee. And we don't have to look cute and go eat, when you were single in these friendships. Life just changes and we have to be adaptable and find new people in that phase. And that's why, I started joining all these groups, these communities, and I did it. And I feel like that helped me, like bonding through that shared experience. And I didn't feel like a black sheep or like, oh, am I the only one feeling this? Am I the only one going through that? Am I the only one? All this questioning. And when you meet other women that they're like, girl, I've been awake since 3 a.m. Then you're like, oh my God, like I'm not the only one. Like it feels so good to find these connections. And also you share advices and tips, right? Like if someone is like a more seasoned mom, like she has maybe 2 or 3 kids, or like the baby's like even 6 months older or a year older, then she can, if the baby was sick or the baby did something, or then you can always ask like, hey, how about, did your baby did that at this age? Or any advice for any baby supplies, any baby items, toys, activities. It's just like you share that advice and tips, and it's helpful, right? Like sometimes you Google a lot of stuff, but if someone is like, oh, I tried this, maybe she's gonna like it, or I tried this book or this activity, then you share those advices and tips. And also, ladies, emotional support. Honestly, having a friend that it's in the same season, she's just gonna get it. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to like say sorry, like, oh, so I'm sorry I'm late, or I'm sorry I have to cancel. Because if you cancel because the baby woke up with a pink eye or is sick, I'm not gonna get mad. I get it, because I have canceled many times when the baby is sick or woke up with a cold, or hasn't nap and it's super fussy, right? Like they're not going to take it by heart or personal. You just get it. You don't have to explain yourself, like be sorry that the baby's being loud at their house, because if they have kids, their house is probably loud as well. So it's like you have this emotional support where you can be yourself at that phase in your life, depending on how old your babies are. I'm talking more baby talk because my baby's 2. So I'm talking toddler, right? But I see other moms that have like already kids in middle school or like older, and they talk about soccer practice or these activities or the school, or hey, they can hang out on my house, Wednesdays. Like I'll pick up my daughter, pick up your son as well, they can play or whatever. So I see all these moms doing that with older kids, and it's like, okay, you need your tribe at that phase, right? My phase right now is like play dates, like a friend told me about a gym that had uh, like 2 hours of daycare, so I can go do my workout. See, this is things that I didn't know, and because she tried it, and the baby like he liked it, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it too, because I was already looking for a gym. But see, all of these things I wouldn't know or trust right away if I wouldn't have a friend that is going through the same thing. So emotional support, motherhood, honestly comes with a lot of emotional challenges that, let's be honest, a man is not supposed to understand. And I respect that, because they're supposed to be our rock. Okay. We don't need two moms in the house, emotional, going like como pollo sin cabeza, like chicken without a head. They're the center, like the grounded. They're gonna be your support. They're the dad. And we have just different emotions. And when you find that connection with another woman that has the same emotions, is going through the same challenges, then you feel like you have someone that you can count on, right? Like the support, the empathy through those like different changes in your body, your hormones, pregnancy, postpartum, like any type of text, right? Like it's kind of like validating your feelings, like, okay, I'm not the only one feeling this, right? Is that okay? Do you feel it too? And they don't have to feel the same thing, but at least they will understand where are you coming from, instead of you trying to explain someone that doesn't have kids, then they're like, why is she being loud? Like, well, she's 2. Tantrums, okay? Like I don't have to explain that. And also perspective. Every kid is different. I only have one so far, and with the woman that I have met or hang out that have 2, they're like, look, whatever worked with the first one, it's not gonna work with the second one. period. Like whatever works with your first kid is not going to work with the second one. Or I have heard many moms say too, like, oh, the first one was like so easy, and that baby made us want a second one, and then the second one came and it was like a completely different personality or more active. So every kid is going to be different, right? But when you see that through someone else's perspective, like other moms, or you see like the next phase that is coming for you, like if they have like a year older or 2 years older, then you start learning from someone else's experiences, right? Like, oh, I see that's coming. Okay, without judgment. It's like, okay, how can I prepare myself? Okay, now at least I know. And also, motivation. I feel like when you join these groups, like I recently joined another group in my community. So I told you ladies, I joined some group, like two groups in Los Angeles. And I also download an app. If you ladies are interested, the app is like dating for moms, basically. It's called Peanut. So this app basically is like a, as I said, the dating app for moms. You you meet other moms in your neighborhood that just want to make friends, so you can organize play dates, or you can go take the kids to the park, or hopefully you build a stronger friendship to where like you can hang out. So I tried it. I didn't have success with that app in Los Angeles. I don't know. People weren't like text, but then everybody's busy on text. But in Texas, as soon as I moved to Texas, I love my Houston people. Like they are so like happy, and they're very friendly. And I met all these women through these apps. Hey, let's go on a play date. Come to my house. Let's go there. Oh, I heard about this like group. They were so tight that I finally felt that I joined this like tribe or community of moms. And also, recently joined a group called Moms of Preschoolers. And I think this is also a national organization that they have a lot of groups in all US, I want to say. And you just have to find the one near your neighborhood or your city. Usually they host them in churches because it's a free group. You just join. They will take care of the baby for 2 hours, feed them snacks, whatever. And then you will do an activity with these moms like twice a month. And either like a book club, or it will be like painting or brunch or whatever it is. So it's nice. And I met a lot of moms in my own neighborhood. And I'm like, all of you, where have you been? So the thing is that you just have to put yourself out there. If you don't have friends that are in the same phase as you, preferably that are neighbors, so you can actually meet with them in person and go on walks, do all of these things, then I motivate you to start looking for your tribe, okay? Because you need that bonding and connection and feel that you belong somewhere, like you belong in a community. So we have someone here say, hola, José Alfonso, saludos cordiales desde Perú. Muchas gracias. Gracias, José Alfonso. Saludos hasta Perú. Liz Blees. Oh my God. Hi, girl. It says, completely agree with what you're saying. As a single, no kids here, how can we best support our mom friends? 99% of the peers and friends have kids at this age. That's a good question. And thank you for listening and sending your question. I really, really appreciate it. I feel that how I would love to be, if I will go back in time and I can be a better friend from the friends that have kids, just being understanding, like just like know that they're already going through a hard time, or that it's not as easy just to get ready and go out, because we work on the kids' schedule, especially if they're little. So it's like just being supportive, like nice, no judgment. I don't think you probably, you're like that, but like not judgment, just like be more understanding that phase. It's like we're always on the go, always on a schedule, always like with things. Like when I talk to friends, it's like my half my brain is in the conversation, half the brain is with the baby, like don't move these, don't do this. So especially because they're little. But I love this question, and it's just compassion, understanding that hey, that phase is where they are. And if they don't text back, they don't reply, they cancel an event because the baby's sick, it's like, hey, they have their own thing going on. It's not because you you invited them. And they didn't want to go. Probably, trust me, probably it's not like that because I have not accepted events late because the baby goes to sleep at 7, and it's like at 7 we close the business. I can't go anywhere unless like I coordinate with my husband and then I go out, which, I try not to do that much because I'm also tired, but just be compassionate because, that's what we women can do to support each other at different phases. Doesn't have to be, the same phase, but I wish, like I was more aware at the times before. But I feel like I did it with my sister, and I will help her carry the diaper bag or fold the stroller because that was my nephew. And I'm like, hey, if he's crying, like, oh, I can hold him. Like, it doesn't hurt me because I didn't have kids. So I'm like, oh, I'm like fresh, but she was probably like sleep deprived or whatever. So yes, thank you, Liz. I appreciate you, girl. Thank you so much. So yes, ladies, and honestly, like community and personal growth, it's with these moms, like as I say, it's a completely different phase that when I was single, I did not have the knowledge or the idea. And then I told my friends that had kids, I'm like, how come you didn't tell me? This was waiting for me. She's like, you wouldn't have understand it. I feel like nobody understands. Even if you explain the best that you can, it's like you're not supposed to understand until you go through your own experience because all experiences are different too. Some moms are more patient, which you will develop a lot of patience. Or other moms are, more active, more fun. Other moms might stress a little more. Other moms, have more kids. So it's like different. Each experience is different, but you can bond with friends in the same season. Very true. Excited to be a mom one day. Moms are real life heroes. Yes. Honestly, I don't care how tired I am, how difficult it gets, the love that you feel with a kid, the growth that you get with a kid, it's just, I can't explain it. It's something that I will never trade for anything in this world. The growth, the patience I have developed, the resilience, organizing my time, making new friends, trying to be better too, because I feel like motherhood brings a lot of traumas that maybe you had not taken care of or you were not aware. Because there is this thing that and I was talking to a therapist actually on the flight when I was coming here. And she had a 18-month-old baby, and I sat next to her, and thankfully, like the person in the middle didn't board the plane, so she had like two seats for herself. And we started talking because I'm like, girl, like take this seat. The baby needs the space. Like I get it. I'm like, mine is at home. And she's a therapist, and we started talking. That's why I got motivated to talk about this because 2 hours nonstop. We were like talking and talking and talking. And then she's a therapist, and we were talking about motherhood and like the childhood trauma. And she's like, when you replicate, when the trauma that you had in your childhood in your family unit, you try to replicate it in your new unit. And all of this is subconscious. And I read this also, and I brought this conversation because we started talking about, she's like a family therapist, I think. And there is this book that I just finished like 3 weeks ago. Let me tell you the title. It's called Getting the Love You Want. And this is they're like a couple therapist, and it's by Hartley Hendricks and Helen Hunt. They're a couple therapists. It's called Getting the Love You Want. And they talk so much about the childhood trauma that you try to recreate in your new unit. And then I asked this to the girl that I met on the plane, and she's like, that's absolutely true. She's like, and you're not doing this consciously. So when you're mothering a new child, you're projecting sometimes your insecurities, you're projecting the fears or the things that you went through your childhood. So being a mom brings a lot of inner growth, inner like development. And that's why, I decided to like go deeper into my healing because it just brought a lot up to surface that I was not aware, that I was not ready. And definitely, when you connect with other moms, other mom friends, you will feel that, hey, it's good. I'm not alone. This is just temporary. It's just a phase. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The growth, the opportunity to grow, to heal, to do better, to live great kids behind, to like do better, like make a happy family, to learn more patience, and the resilience that you get in the love. Like when I see her, it's a love that I can explain. Like I find myself like, even if I'm tired, at the end of the day, I put her down and then I go and I lay down and then I start looking pictures of her. And my husband is like, you were just mad that she wouldn't go to sleep, and now that she's sleeping you're looking at pictures of her. And I'm like, so let me be. I go back and look at pictures when she was little, and it's just a love that nobody can. This is something that money, time, nothing can buy you. This experience, you can travel the world, learn a new language, experience things, buy experiences, but the love of your own kid is something that, I can't unfeel it. And this is why I'm like, okay, when you connect with other women, you kind of grow as a community, right? So it's beautiful. And I also love to see how other women do things, right? Because there, to do one thing, there is 1,000 and million ways to do that thing. So it's your only way is not the best way, although this is working for you. But for example, to make them nap, or to heal a rash, there is like thousands of ways to do that. And it's like, yes, I know 3 ways to do it, but let me ask them. They have a different background, moms from different countries. You just ask and learn and expand your knowledge. um, and it makes you feel good. Honestly, ladies, please start looking groups, mom groups in your neighborhood. I mentioned moms of preschoolers. Fit for Mom is also another organization where you go work out, bring your stroller. Peanut app is like a dating app for moms. I have met many moms there. In whatever community, there is walking clubs. Also at the library, they do story time. You can take the babies there to story. It's free. And just play dates. Do a play date, girl. You deserve some girl talk. Invite someone. And sometimes we want good friends. But I always say, I made a live another day talking about how to have find high value friends. The number one thing is become a high value friend. Become the friend first, okay? Like, and if the people don't receive it, if people don't want it, hey, at least you're trying. And this is something I have done. I tried, hey, come to my house. I'll get us a cake, coffee, sandwiches. Like, bring the baby. We'll let them play, and then we can have an adult conversation. And I'll open the doors of my home when I feel that it's safe, or like a right time. But text back. I know we're busy, but also, like, friendships are 2 ways. Remember, it's not all about me, it's not all about you. It's a friendship that you need to nourish, plan schedules, and it's better if they're around the same age, with babies. And if not, doesn't matter, because sometimes naps get in the way. Um, but just try to be that friend. Reach out. Hey, how are you? How's your day going? How's the baby doing? Do you want to do any play date, or let's go to the gym or to the park? Come to my house, girl. Let's go eat somewhere where we can bring the babies, or indoor playgrounds. Anything. Try to reach out. Trust me, women out there. I know some might not want friends, but majority, we're just wanting to have someone to bond. Okay, and if you want that, start putting yourself out there, a little more effort. And if someone reaches and you like this person, try to text back. I forget to text back so many times, because I reply in my head and then I'm like doing other things, and I'm like, they never texted back. And when I go and check, it was me. But that was it for today, ladies. I will tomorrow is the event that I have here, and then I go back to my baby Thursday in the afternoon. So tomorrow, maybe I'll do another video talking more about the event and what I learned there with these women that I'm gonna meet. But so far, I'm gonna enjoy the quiet of this room. Look, no diaper bags, no babies. Ah, I'm gonna order like room service and enjoy my time. Thank you, ladies, for watching and for the questions. I love you, and I'll see you in the next live. Adios.